Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. Even if your child's attending a prestigious college, parents worry. They worry about whether being away from parents' watchful eye result in their kids having too much sex, drugs, and rock and roll. They worry about college costs, which usually exceed the university estimates. For example, living expenses can be double what's stated on the college's website. But maybe most of all, college parents worry about whether their major investment of money and their child's investment of time will pay off career-wise. Parents of college students are often told to let go, let their child fly, or crash, on their own. So the argument goes, young adults need to develop self-efficacy, and too much parental involvement, the so-called helicopter parenting, increases the risk of the child rebelling and distancing from parents. But my experience with clients over the past 30 years suggests that that is usually wrong. Even if your child is what's typically described as a good child, done right, your active involvement in your child's career planning and in the first steps toward that career can not only enhance their career prospects, but help ensure a solid relationship with your child. Setting the stage. The norm in America is minimal parent involvement after high school. So if you want to implement even some of this talk's ideas, you may want to have a formal discussion with your child about it. Such a conversation might be kicked off with a statement such as, "Of course I'm proud of what you've accomplished, and I respect the importance of your having increased autonomy. But for what it's worth, you're only 18 years old," or whatever. "Having been around this earth for a bit longer than you have, I still should be able to add some important value to you. So I'd like to continue in an advisory role with you, especially about your career. You're the godfather, but I'd welcome being a consigliere. What do you think?" Then really listen to your child's response and adjust the extent of your involvement accordingly. Encouraging career exploration. It's stressful for a young adult not to have picked a career and major, so it's tempting for them to just pick something, like, "Well, I'm a science person, so I'll major in molecular biology and then get a PhD in that," or "I'm a word person and I like to argue, so I'll major in some liberal arts subject and go to law school," or "I'm a numbers person, so I'll major in math and plan on becoming an investment banker or investment analyst," or "I'm a people person, so I'll major in business and try to get hired by a management consulting firm." You should discourage such premature foreclosure. There are thousands of careers with variants on each of them. Exploration beyond the obvious is usually well worth the time. What kinds of exploration might you encourage? Ask your friends and relatives with interesting jobs that might suit your child to invite your child to spend an hour or a day shadowing them in the workplace, or at least to have a phone conversation in which that person describes what the career has really been like for him or her. Also, encourage your child to keep their ear open when talking with college friends. Maybe one of their parents has a career that appeals. Many students, though, are too shy to ask their friends, but you can help by demonstrating, role-playing with them. For example, saying something like, "Hey, that's cool that your mom's a field geologist. By any chance, might she be willing to chat with me about her career, or even allow me to visit her on the job?" Questions you might ask in such an informational interview might include, "What's a typical day like? What are the pros and cons of the career? What might surprise me about the career? What attributes end up being key to success in this career? Why do people most often leave the career? What's key to getting trained well?" And the usual good catch-all question at the end, "Anything else you want to tell me?" Also, encourage your child to visit the college's career website or visit its career center to use their online career matching assessment tools and to browse its library. And here I can't resist plugging my new book, Careers for Dummies, which has concise profiles of 340 careers, plus a link to more information on each one of the careers. Helping your child milk their education. A pair of twins could attend the same college and take the same courses, yet one twin could have a dramatically more career-enhancing experience. In this case, twin 1 could be, say, grade focused, take easy courses, be afraid to ask questions for fear of appearing dumb, even cheating, for example, submitting others' term papers as their own. Outside of class, twin 1 could focus on the aforementioned sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Meanwhile, twin 2 chose classes based on what will help him or her grow the most, career and otherwise. Twin 2 risked asking so-called dumb questions, knowing that those questions yield individualized feedback. Twin 2 asked to do term papers and projects that would be career enhancing. Twin 2 picked extracurricular activities likely to enhance career prospects, maybe leadership in a student club, student government, campus newspaper, radio or TV station. Alas, many students, even at prestigious colleges, are more like twin 1, if only because they're insufficiently aware of the importance of milking that college experience. You, the parent, you're tactfully reminding your child of that is worthwhile. Even if your child blows you off, you've planted a seed, and often a semester or a year later, your child implements some of your suggestions, maybe even forgetting that you were the source of the idea. Milking internships and co-op education. The aforementioned twins can also derive very different benefits from internships. An anecdote might be helpful here. I was on the Today Show one August, and in addition to the director and camera persons, the room was filled with maybe 24 20 to 22-year-old women. Yes, they all were women, most of whom were chatting with each other or with the guests who were waiting to come on the set. But one of the women was flitting from guest to guest, camera person to director to on-air talent, trying to be as helpful as possible to each. You could just hear it. Overheard the conversations. And when my segment was over, I went over to her to say I was impressed with her industriousness. She said, "Funny you should say that. Our internships are just about over, and I was the only one of the 23 interns to be offered a full-time job after graduation as a producer." Students, your child, need to think of their internship as an audition. Alas, an audition in which only a small percentage of auditioners get cast. Encourage career-centric vacation activities. Of course, the stress of college makes some students crave a no-brainer vacation job or activity. Travel, a meditation retreat, or scooping ice cream. But if your child's open to it, vacations are a low-risk time to explore careers. Of course, there are the ready-made internships, a list of which is often available on the college's Career Center website, and is one that's on a portal that UC Berkeley put together. Just Google internships and UC Berkeley and you'll get to it. But many internships are informally created. For example, let's say your child dreams of working at Google, but its website doesn't list an appropriate internship. Encourage your child to use LinkedIn to find Google employees with appropriate job titles, and then to email them a polite but compelling request for an internship. Helping your child get a career-launching job. In the senior year, unless it's clear your child should go straight to graduate school, he or she needs to begin the search for a career-launching job. Because competition is fierce for good jobs for new grads with little real-world experience, a parent can be invaluable in opening doors. If you might be able to do that, explain that to your child, and offer to make calls to family and friends to see if they're willing to talk with your child about a possible job or to provide a lead or advice. Should you hire your child? Some parents are in a position to give their new graduate a better career-launching job than he or she could get in the open market. If that's true in your case, it is okay to hire your child, but treat your child no better than your other employees. That avoids their disgruntlement and your own child's feeling that he or she is not earning his or her keep. The takeaway? Parents can play a greater role in their college students' lives than is often recommended, but the amount of your involvement depends on your values, your capabilities, and your child's willingness. One size does not fit all. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'm Marty Nemko.